Well, main reason why I don't do lives over here is because Facebook seems to mess with my audio. So I had started doing them on TikTok because even though they're a shitty system, I could at least get it to play without audio issues. So then normally I would do a live over there and then download it and put it over here. That's what you've been watching lately. So in the middle of over there, about 5 minutes ago, doing a live, I was doing a breakdown of what September meant and how September in its root word actually means seven. Sept means seven, and it's also a meaning for a division of a tribe. And I was tying an analogy to how September kind of showed you how easy it is to pull people apart. 9 is the number of control. It's supposed to be the highest vibration, but it's a number of control. If something already placed the ceiling on how high you can go, you're under control. And a lot of people's mental processes have been broken down into, let's just say, facets of tradition and belief. Hell, they all do that. I left Instagram to come over here, and then fucking Facebook brought Instagram. God damn it. And now TikTok is worse than all of them. So basically what I was saying is that September showed you how easy it is to trick you into identifying what you're going through more than you will have awareness of why you're going through. And that's important in life. Why am I allowing these things to have control over my energy versus what can I do to get out of the situation? And again, this is not to be disrespectful or insensitive. We watched a lot of people basically lose their fucking mind this year. We watched a lot of people who, if they would have taken themselves out of the situation and found a different perspective, they might have found a way out of the situation itself. Basically, they would have realized that ain't their shit to be dealing with in the first place. But it's hard to teach or tell people that, because once you become energetically invested into what you're going through, I don't want to hear shit except for the solution for what I'm seeing. When the whole problem was, you keep seeing it. So I tied in an analogy of 2020, the vision test. Basically with COVID, they were basically, would you show one thing to one person, you can have 5 different perspectives, but the majority perspective was supposed to be the one you trust. The majority perspective was based off of fear, so you were supposed to trust fear. That's what 2020 showed us, but only it was a test. 2023 was, okay, it was a retake. Basically, for me, it was a retake. This was, okay, who are you now? 2020 showed you what you could become if you feed fear. 2023, the year of self-awareness, was, here's what happened to your energy. Are you going to take your energy back and stop feeding shit that pulls you apart, or are you going to hold yourself together? The 9th month, which again really is a 7, was about, here's who I am and here's what's controlling me. We saw all month long the things that was evidently controlling the bigger picture and how it never changes. And I think this is what got me banned, because I use the analogy of, as a homeowner, if you hire a contractor and then they show up and they're not doing the job, do you keep letting them show up or do you fire them? And so then I said, and this is really what got me banned, I said, so use this in your relationship. If you're in a relationship with somebody and they don't show up, do you let them keep coming in? And then I said, for government, probably get me banned over here too, for government, if you hire them but they never show up for you and they still just do what they want to do you leave them in there or do you get rid of them? And then that's where I got axed off at. But fuck them, and fuck Facebook if they fuck with my sound. So the thing was basically an analogy to how this whole year was really heavy on mental health for a lot of people, because it's a self-awareness year. Vibrationally, that 7 got you. But these fall and winter months are reflection months. Traditionally, a lot of people go into depression and recession from August all the way down into all the way into December, really into January. But from that time of August, once you get into the end of the summer, leading into September, a lot of people start to pull their energy back. And that's just a circadian clock thing, or let's just say a human process, reptilian core mind. So with this year being the way it was designed, and you're supposed to be slowing down so that you can figure out the game plan for what you're harvesting in the fall versus which crops you're going to replant in the winter so that you can see them motherfuckers come up in the spring, if the only crops you kept eating was the same ones that were destroying you, you're really working in a cycle of self-sabotage. So then the first question I asked before I got banned was, what was September? And I came up with the Hermit card in reverse. It was, what are you coveting? This is Osean, the healer. This is healing in reverse. All the healing you need needs to take place inside. But if you got so many things depressing and suppressing you that you think you have to heal from, basically your trauma field, all the experiences that you're being inundated into or trying to get out of, if you got more energy for trying to get out of all of these experiences, you don't have time to get into you. That's real talk. And people tell you this all the time. You can sit there and tell somebody, look, quit worrying about that shit. I can't keep worrying about it. And then here come 95 justifications for why you got to keep doing the same thing. I can't stop worrying about it, but that nasty word, but you'll make justification and you will continue down and you don't want to hear nothing different. That is 99% of people. So another analogy I was using was basically off of sept, being that it was a division of a tribe. You can't expect the collective consciousness to hold itself together if individually each piece is feeling like it's being torn apart. If the individual doesn't get a safe space to even address the collective, you stay in disconnect. And that tied into everything else on about how October is basically, Oct really means 8, even though it's the 10th month. 10th, the illusion itself, 2 numbers pretending to be 1. The potential fool is what it breaks down for me. October, think about it, trick or treat. October will fool you if you don't know your own struggles. Oct, O-C-T, means 8. 8 is the infinite loop of struggles. If I don't know the potentials of the shit that's fooling me, it's going to become a struggle. So 10, October should have been showing you, or should be showing you, because we're coming into it in a couple hours, October should be showing you what I might still be over investing in. Can't make this shit up. It's the star card in reverse. Scarcity. You hear me say this shit all the time. Everything you need is already here. You don't need to manifest shit. You just need to get out of alignment with the shit that is stopping you from having what's already yours. Enslavement mindset. Scarcity consciousness. Scarcity consciousness. Thinking that you don't have enough will already put you in a perpetual state of fear. The other thing that runs this realm, fear. Not only ignorance, but fear. Fear runs this realm because I think I don't have enough, or in the converse of that, I got too much and I don't think I have enough. See, there's authentically people in this realm right now who don't have enough. And there's authentically people in this realm who's got too much, but they don't have enough. There's your balance right there. So if you allow the mindset of the people who have too much, but don't think they have enough, and therefore they cannot share with others, that's going to suppress the people who don't think they have enough because they don't feel empowered to be enough on their own. Stop going to these motherfuckers expecting them to give you what's already naturally yours. But that's a scarcity mindset. And holy shit, what do you have? Division. You have the Abeji. On my cards, these are my cards. That's the Abeji. The elder sends the younger one out first. The elder one sends the younger one out first so that the younger one is the first one in this world. And if it's safe, if it's not safe, the younger one, by tradition, the younger one will pass. So then the elder one will stay in there and be like, nope, not my time to come out. If it's safe and the younger one's safe, then okay, I'll come out. You see the trickster element of that? I'm going to wait on somebody else. I'm going to sacrifice somebody else before I do it for myself. Resonance only. So October will show you where you still allowing for the potential of what's separating you to fool you into staying in separation. But to tie that into the mental aspect, because it's another one of these mental health awareness months when this whole year was about mental health. It's self-awareness. If I don't know who the fuck I am, then mentally I'm already fucked. And we've seen that shit all year long. A lot of people have mentally been fucked, and that's not me trying to be funny. A lot of people this year have been mentally fucked because who they thought they were or who they keep trying to invest in, that shit ain't working out for them. It is the proverbial putting a wig on a pig. That motherfucker gonna steal oink, but is it authentic to itself? A lot of people have not been authentic to themselves. They've been authentic to their traumas, or they've been authentic to the lack of identity within, which is still a trauma. And then they trying to live that out, that they never promoted any stillness for themselves. They just wanted the shit that they're going through to move out the way. So that false identity that a lot of people have been riding in this whole year, it's going to come to roost in October. All these fucking alleged false flags and all of these real-time events that people are going to call false flag, they're still going to pull energy. But the question I asked was, whether it's false or it's real, who gives a shit? What are you going to do different? Are you going to keep trying to find a way to counter what they're throwing at us without getting rid of the field of play and the possibility and probability and the ability itself to keep fucking us all together? They can be anything you want to fill in the blank. If you know somebody is doing something against you and yet you still keep showing up and giving them the ability to do it, it ain't them. It is them, but it's more you. You keep showing up. You keep showing up, asking for the knife or the gun, Lilith. The Lilith choice. 10 is the Lilith choice. October is the Lilith choice. I didn't see myself as enough, so all right, I'm gonna separate myself into one of these struggles. Only that's the trick. Separating yourself into one struggle to avoid the other struggle, you really invested in both of them because it's a system of measurement. I'd rather be chained to the rocks than to be stuck with Adam. So now chained to the rocks is safer than being stuck with Adam. Both of them still got you. It's just a varying degree of how much energy you think you're giving. But that's the whole problem, the thought. You think you're not giving it, but yet you can't hold yourself together. So mentally, this October ain't gonna do nothing but amplify where people have not been able to hold themselves together because they still keep praising their ability to stay out of the harm by going into something less harmful. It's fucking 8. October is an 8. Oct, O-C-T, 8. Victim mindset. I'm going to be stronger than my situation. But, sir, ma'am, your situation ain't yours to have. Yeah, I know. I hear what you're saying, player, but that ain't what's real for me. So I'm going to keep on investing in the situation until I conquer it. Sir, ma'am, the whole problem was the situation wants to conquer you by getting you to plug into it. Sooner or later, you're going to nut. And now the situation is going to be pregnant with your child. Why? Because you're going to keep fucking it when it's already designed to fuck you. Now you done fucked yourself. Victim mentality. That 8 wasn't nothing of reflection, but this 8 right here. October itself, 1 + 7, 8. You keep starring in that same shit, they ain't going to do nothing but make you a victim. Now you done hit the 88s. If you've been following me, I told you the 88s is your gatekeepers. What gatekeepers what are they keeping at the gates? They're keeping me at the gates because they're designed to keep me safe. I don't want to be safe. I want to be whole. Because if they're keeping me safe, then that means there's already something outside the gate that's a potential danger. You get it? I don't want to stay in war. I want wholeness so I can figure out what the fuck is possibly out here trying to trick me into peace. So these 88s that a lot of people are going to end up facing, again, you hear me call 88 the gatekeepers. The other thing you'll find a hashtag on is I call them traumatic memory points. Those are the traumatic memory points of the experiences you went through that left a stain on your motherfucking soul. The problem is your 88s are not relegated just to this life cycle. In my experience, your 88s are the imprints of every time you incarnated, and each one of them motherfuckers still have a memory. Water has a memory. It is the mind that is enslaving the soul as the soul forgot it was a spirit. The soul is the fragmented form of the spirit that has taken on an identity of spirit, but is not spirit itself. And then the soul does not want the wholeness of being spirit, so it tries to find an identity through all of its experiences, and it needs in a mind, a body to generate. So then each time my soul incarnates into a mind and a body, each time my soul went there, the memory of the time before might get erased, but the imprint's still there. It's what you hear me say, like if you got any computer skills, which I know a lot of y'all do, if you wipe 95 on your computer and put Windows 98 on there, Windows 95 is still in there. Heaven forbid you put Linux in the side partition. You got 3 operating platforms in one. Yeah, I used to mod my phones when Galaxies first start coming out. If you put Cyanogen mod over here on this one and then put the Samsung Android beta right here, you could have 3 operating systems on one fucking phone. easily if you know what you're doing. Your life cycles that's how you can constitute my experience, my perspective. That's how you constitute deja vus and things like that. That's how you see some of these kids waking up and they can tell you, yeah, back in 1944, I was over at the Battle of Midway and I can take you to exactly where I got killed and can do it because it's a thought process. That incarnation cycle from 1944 when it met its end and then it decided to spiritually reincarnate into 2010 or whatever year that little boy was born, it still remembers what it did in 44. It just does not have direct access because it's not the same mind. That's why you think you're who you are, but yet a part of you still remember that it's not you because it still thinks it was who it was times before. That probably confused a lot of y'all, but you'll be all right. So that's why you'll see when people go into certain levels of hypnosis or past life recalls, they can pull from other parts of their memory because if the past life recall, or especially if they're doing hypnosis and things like that, they can unlock the partitions of this mind. This mind is only paying attention to this incarnation. Those gatekeepers, those 88s, still remember them all. And then here's the tricker. Some of them that still remember who they are will try and trick this one into doing what it wants it to do. That's an internal self-sabotage. That gatekeeper that might have a fear of heights will trick you, current you, from staying away from heights because it doesn't want to relive the trauma. And vice versa. One of them that was a thrill seeker might have you out here trying to jump off a fucking mountain because it loves the thrill of being up high. You get what I'm saying? So you have to understand what a gatekeeper really is and what a traumatic core memory is and why it can be easily used against you. And if you don't believe me, look up MIT research. Look up MIT research. And I've used this example and I've been posting about it since probably 2015. That mouse that they used something in its amygdala, if I'm not saying the word incorrectly, that part of your brain, the hippocampus and the amygdala or something, whatever them little parts is in there. And after it tortured that mouse so much, it took that same amygdala and put it in its grandson, and the grandson remembered everything. Every time it got near the torture point, it already responded before it happened. Not the same mouse, generationally 3 generations younger, but still the same memory. And they do that. And they've been doing that for decades. And I'm not just saying this is what the government done to us. I'm just saying if the government is smart enough to fucking figure out how to do that, shit's real. It ain't what they're doing. It's only what they're accessing and doing with what's already been done. Your core memories reside within you. October will unlock your core memories if you are only set up for struggle. And unfortunately, the best way to keep people locked in fear is to keep them set up for struggle. So much to the point to where the struggle ain't even a struggle no more. People willingly get up and work 2 jobs, 60 hours a fucking week, and they got this. When we should have never had it. That should have never been the way. But again, get back into it. If you don't covet you enough, you're going to end up sharing everything that was supposed to be you, everything that's supposed to be for you, your plentifulness, with the same shit that's designed to keep you in separation. But you want to play victim. Nah, you're not the victim. You're the fool. In that case, in the sense of the 10, you weren't the potential. You was the fool. You didn't choose you. You keep choosing the same shit. That ain't gonna do it but steal your energy. And that's not government relationships. That's your thoughts. If October is going to be mental health month, your thoughts is going to be your worst enemy if you can't keep still. And your thoughts only want you to see things from a different perspective. Your thoughts only want you to think. Sorry. It's just like a 7-year-old. Mommy, 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 daddy, daddy, daddy. They only want attention. But how does a thought get attention? By getting you to think, which is energetic investment into the idea that the thought now can be verified and valid. So this month right here, a lot of people might need to be aware to, and I'll do one for the 88s, to where some of the thoughts they're thinking, it's time to put them motherfuckers on the table. Those core traumas can keep you forever in motion if you don't know how to shut them motherfuckers up. And it's not about going in your head and fighting with them. It's about having a conversation with yourself even if it make you feel crazy, because some of y'all are getting close to that motherfucking point anyway. I'm just going to be real with you. Some of you motherfuckers are batshit crazy right now. Hi. As your motherfucking reflection, some of you motherfuckers are batshit crazy. You can call me crazy all day long, but I see shit for what it is. And my life is wonderful. Let your life tell your tale. So in the sense to where you don't understand that where some of your thoughts are only trying to keep your ass in motion, it might be time for you to shut the fuck up and keep still. Figure out why your traumas are trying to get you to pay more attention to them than to just let them motherfuckers go. Here's where a lot of people get lost. How do you let them go? You find the value of them. If you got value for your traumas, then by all means, hold on to it, player. But if your traumas ain't doing nothing but working you over and having your ass in the corner rocking at night, it's time to let that shit go. Because the first thing you'll need to realize is they're probably past issues. You've already PASSED'd. You already passed it. You just won't accept the grade. And that's a lot of people's issues. I don't accept what happened. So now you sit here and you tying your energy into a past experience, trying to get validation and vindication. Or you're trying to rework the values and the only thing it's doing is reworking you. You can't change it. So how do you let it go? I realize that I can't change it, but holy shit, I have a responsibility to myself to stop letting it change me. You can't let your 88s make you become the victim of scarcity. So what are these 88s? What is the 88's attention and intention? I already told you, they just want validation of experience. But we'll pull a card. The 88, the gatekeeper, they just want their own voice. Communication. 3, these are the thoughts. These are thoughts that just want you to see who they are, because who they are is you. That's Oshun. That's the mirror. That's the reflection. The thoughts, the 88s, only want you to see them from their point of view and do what they say. To be fair, you can have some 88s, some gatekeepers that don't have trauma on that level, as in negativity. Some of the motherfuckers got trauma as in plentifulness. This manifests, oh boy, seeing this firsthand, this manifests in the sense of sexual promiscuity. And I'm not talking about just straight up whole theory, but I'm talking about I likes to get it in. Indulgence, drinking issues, gambling issues, plenitude issues, to where they're a lavish lifestyle. Those can be thoughts that have remembered the times where they had everything they wanted, and in a cycle, in a current player field like here, where we don't get everything we need without a fight for it, they don't stand for it. So they'll keep you pushing, which can be dangerous, because they'll have you with an overspending type habit. That's the stillness. The stillness comes in not being beholden to the thoughts. See, this is the 88 in the sense to where they just want you to listen to them. But if you listen to your gatekeepers to the point to where now they tell you and guide you to where you go, that won't be stillness. That'll just be guided motion. Because the whole thing was they're still holding on to energetic value of their existence, and it's still now transferring into your current incarnation. So you won't get stillness that way. They will only want to promote and drive your energy until your reflection looks like them. But really, it's still all deceit, because it's energetic investment into what I thought I wanted to see, but no longer have the opportunity to create. But now I'm going to make you do that. It's essentially like where you'll see parents try and mold their kids into who they want to be and then vicariously live through them. Your gatekeepers will vicariously try and live through current you, because a lot of them won't acknowledge that they are you. Same meat suit, same soul, different mind, different body. So it's an internal divine amnesia, cosmic schizophrenia type issue. So if you don't start to understand how to communicate with your gatekeepers, and on some level, basically it's a counseling session. It's a counseling session of understanding, hey, what you've been through. It's my turn now, because I am you. It's my turn now because I am you. Invest in me enough to help me not fuck up. See, this is employment of your gatekeeper. Help me not fuck up so that I don't end up creating another you. You had your chance. You didn't make it through to the point to where you found stillness. which is why you're still imprinted within another incarnation cycle, then help me to break the fucking cycle altogether. Let go of your trauma, telling the trauma point that, telling the core memory to let go of it itself, what it's holding on to, and to invest in becoming a whole you. It's almost like a Horcrux. You understand that? Like, until he broke all the Horcruxes, he couldn't get all his power back. Your gatekeepers are kind of like Horcruxes. They're still in you. They're not hidden. You ain't got to go find them. You just got to be still and start seeing. That's not authentic to me. This thought that I keep thinking ain't really authentic to me, but yet it's in me. Maybe I need to figure out the root. And to be fair, in facing your gatekeepers, you will start to understand that some of the stuff that you allow yourself to think ain't your gatekeepers. It's just feeder bands from dealing in this fucked up ass collective consciousness. Basis for telepathy and shit. Sometimes you'll eat other people's thoughts. Going to Walmart, like right now, don't go into Walmart. A night like tonight or a night like tomorrow night, and definitely not on the 4th. Days like that where people are going to be under states of high depression. If you have high depression, empathy ain't the issue. Empathy ain't going to be the issue because it's not empathically feeling others. It's empathically you've been unfucking raveled. Everybody else's energy has unraveled yours, and then you can eat other people's energies. But that's sympathetic distraction. That's I didn't do enough work on myself to stop other people's energy from working themselves into me. So you have to understand that when you are doing gatekeeper level work, you'll see where some of that shit ain't had a goddamn thing to do with you. It's not a core trauma. It's not a current trauma. It's just somebody else's issues that keep feeding around into me. And I felt it in my heart chakra for some of y'all that need that. So you have to understand how to operate around energy on a different level and not in the same bullshit y'all think y'all know. And if it don't resonate for you from what I'm trying to tell you, I've personally experienced, that's fine, because what works for me might not work for you. But again, if what you think is working for you ain't working for you, you the first victim. Definition of insanity. October, definition of insanity. October is going to be like, okay, you like your separation. You won't work for your wholeness. Good luck being still. But your 88s will keep communicating with you. They really will. So last card I'm going to do, because I'm not going to get too deep in this shit, no deeper than what I already got into it. The basis is October is going to be designed to highlight your overwhelm if that's the only thing you're helping to create. Individually, collectively, as a people, as a planet, however you do it. All levels. One level controls all other levels. And that's the whole problem. It's a controlled system. If you have not done anything to sponsor wholeness or stillness within yourself, have no expectation for it externally. Have no expectation for it externally. It's a fucking illusion. It's a fucking illusion. But the moon will show you. So I'll take that as by the time we hit the next full moon, which will be the end of October, right around Samhain, Halloween, All Hallows Eve, pre-Ancestors Day, Day of the Dead, whatever name you want to fucking give it. By then, when some of y'all say the veil is thin, that fucking veil been gone. It's just a mental trap of what you think is in separation. Sorry, that's an illusion. But you can invest in it, and it's safe for you to invest in. Do what you do. But by this next full moon at the end of the month, everything you need to see is going to be shown. But if you don't want to invest in what's been shown and figure out the value of it, it's your divine right to keep creating illusions. But 10 goes into 11. The illusion itself. 2 ones pretending to be whole. 2 ones, 2 fake motherfuckers pretending to be whole. Leave 1 whole fake motherfucker. Damn, planet Earth. Gonna be some fake shit in November. I hope y'all getting ready for 2024, because as it's set right now, ain't nobody doing anything different on a major level. 2024 ain't gonna do nothing but show you nothing but the same. 2024 right now is building up to be 2020.2, 2.0. Figure that one out. Holding this motherfuckers.